Everybody, before we get into today's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what to expect. First, we're going to get into the XRP chart as we're sitting at about the 0.383 level, but we've had a healthy retracement over the last 24 hours, but it looks like it's going to give us the ability and the liquidity to push up to the next level. That we will have to talk about that in this update. We'll talk about how Credit Suisse is no longer, it's out, being taken over, kind of like what happened to the banks here. The Fed took over, same thing's happening abroad. We've got Bitcoin over 28,000, about 28,200. We'll take a look at the DXY and the total crypto market cap as the day starts. But we're going to have a very volatile Monday. And it looks like even though we had a big retracement on XRP, as we hit 40 cents and we've retraced, we've done a prototypical retracement. And if we're going to break up, this was a retracement that needed to happen. We actually held the 377 as it did a little deep dive overnight. But we held the 377. We're over the 382 support now. So right now we're looking exactly like we need to for a push further up. And we're going to take a further look into XRP because right now having the golden cross is happening and confirming in the 4-hour time frame. This is actually looking like its pattern is retracing for a further move up. Make sure that like button as it greatly helps push me through the analytics. And it really would mean a lot to me this Monday morning as we look as all the markets are back online. And the futures market will open as the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ, along with the Russell 2000, are about to go online in about 1 hour. As you can see behind me, Bitcoin's up 325 points at 28,300. So it's going to be an interesting day. The Dow's up 14, S&P's up at 1.75, and NASDAQ is up 0.25. Russell 2000 is also up about 9.5 points. Make sure that like button, I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning, 8:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, March 20th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So to get this started on this Monday morning, we see the DXY's at 103.418, down 44 cents or 0.43%. Ever since this turmoil happened and the Fed announced the $2 trillion package, or that they were bailing out the banks, the U.S. dollar has been getting crushed. Now, if we break this 103.674 and completely break it, we're coming down to probably, if I had to guess, the next level we've marked down is the 102.60. And then after that, it gets even worse. Then you got 101.16. So we're going to pay attention to this. But when the Fed announces all with uncertain words that they're going back to quantitative easing, the U.S. dollar has no choice but to deep dive. And that's exactly what happened. The U.S. dollar was actually on a nice parabolic bout up to 105.80, and then they announced the bank bailouts, the $2 trillion relief package, and the U.S. dollar had no choice but to come down, and it's dropped about $2, about $2 since that announcement. Well, that's a big drop, and we got rejected on the uptrending resistance, so this is looking very bearish now for the U.S. dollar. Got gold and silver under a little bit of pressure, but it's up to almost 2,000, so pay attention to gold, pay attention to silver, up over $22. Gold-silver ratio is up over 88. Total crypto market cap is at 114.6 trillion, up about 0.47%. We're on top of the 113.9, which, if anybody knows, this is a very, very critical level that we're at right now. And if we break this, that's when we can get up to these higher ambitions. Now, it's anybody's guess if we can actually make it all the way back up to 1.667 trillion, but that is the area of concern up there. So we're going to pay attention here because if we break this 1.1139 with a little bit of mojo, we very well could be making our way somewhere up to here about this 1.629. That's the top end potential, I think, for this first area, but we'll see. We'll see because right now we're breaking up. And if we do push out of this area, we're pretty clear, for some $50 billion here. So we got to pay very close attention to that as there's not much room in between there and there. Where we're at in this top end on the downtrending resistance and the pattern formation. We're breaking past a lot of the resistance. If you look at XRP, we're at 0.3844, down 0.7%. A typical retracement, a very typical retracement. If we see in the daily, everything's starting to line up now for a move. The 4-hourly, same thing. Everything's setting up beautifully. You're holding the 200-day just like you should. You're back on top of the 20-day. This actually looks like a very nice retracement. If we go into the 30-minute time frame, we could still come down a little bit lower if we get rejected by the 384 level and possibly come back down to the 376. But we've already held the 200-day here. So as long as we hold this 200-day at the 38-cent mark right now, and we did come down to about 377, but as long as we hold this right here, we're looking pretty good here this morning. Yeah, it could be a fake out. I understand that. But we're on the top side of this breakout point. And, I mean, really, as long as we're holding that 377, we're bullish right now. I know it came down. I know we lost a lot of the profits from yesterday, but this is bullish as long as it stays where it's at. You can see on this all-time pattern, we are on top of this 383 level, or the 38-cent level. And as long as you stay on top of that you can push all the way up to that 43-cent mark. So XRP right now is in a very critical spot. It's a very, very critical morning right now for XRP. And if we hold this level, yes, we've had a bearish cross in the 30, but the short term does not outweigh the longer time frames. And if you look at the longer time frames, even in the 2-hour, if we continue this momentum, yes, we could push farther down, but it doesn't seem like it's just ready to collapse, but it could. You know, that's why we always have to pay attention. We've got kind of like this uptrending support that's formed right here, and it's a nice little consistent pull up here. That's your uptrend. As long as you hold your uptrend and you can see where X marks the spot, you're pretty good. So that's what I'm looking at for XRP, and just make sure you pay attention to that uptrend. And it's basically at this breakout point. There is a big possibility that you could actually break out if you hold this right here at the 38 cents and pop out to 43. So we're going to watch that. We got a few resistance in the area. The 392, 40 cents, and the 412 are in between here and the 43 cents. So pay very close attention to that. In the immediate short term, we can see that we need to hold the 38 cents, but even closer than that, we can, or even farther than that, if we break 38 cents, we've got the 377 that we're going to have to hold underneath. So pay attention to this, because if we hold these levels, XRP could be looking at a breakout this Monday morning. Bitcoin is at 28,295, up 245 points on this Monday morning. Bitcoin's still stuck with this little resistance here. If we can break out past 28,461, we've got over the top at 30,193, and that's what it looks like we're hunting. It looks like we're hunting this 30,000, but we won't know until we can figure out this level. We've been consolidating in between the resistance up here at 28,450 approximately, and we've had the support down here at 26,950. So that's been your consolidation area. So pay attention to that with Bitcoin, because if we break up, 30,100 plus is our next target. And then I want to talk about this real quick while I have your attention. So Credit Suisse is done. When bank stocks fall on Credit Suisse, adding to 1 trillion wipeout. But UBS is set to buy its rival, so that's a very interesting thing. But if we go over just a quick overview of what is going on. So bank stocks pared their losses Monday after the historic takeover of Credit Suisse. Group AG as investor sentiment stabilized following a 1 trillion plunge this month in global financial shares. So UBS to buy Credit Suisse for in $3.3 billion deal to end crisis. Credit Suisse's $17 billion of risky bonds are now worthless. The one big winner and many losers of UB's Credit Suisse rescue. Warren Buffett in contact with Biden team on banking crisis, blah, blah, blah. Credit Suisse said to push back against UBS's $1 billion offer. So share prices initially slumped because the acquisition by UBS Group AG will wipe out holders of Credit Suisse's riskiest bonds, potentially sending the $275 billion market for bank funding into a tailspin. Yet investors took some comfort from the decisive steps by Swiss authorities over the weekend to end Credit Suisse's year-long descent into turmoil, as well as efforts by U.S. regulators to stabilize banks there. The Stocks Europe 600 Banks Index slipped 1.2% at 1:03 p.m. in Paris, pairing a loss of 6%. So basically, I don't want to read over all the stock market stuff, but so the Credit Suisse group is no longer. AG is purportedly buying them out for $3.3 billion. So pay attention to that. If you got anything out of this update, make sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing and joining the over 15,700 subscribers as we push 16,000. And make sure to hit that like button, as it really does help push me through the analytics. It's up to my audience to share this far and wide to get new people in here. And if you want to trade XRP like I do, with no spot fees on the buy and sell, and being able to do it in the USA, there's a link in the video description below and or pinned comments for BITGET and or MEXC, and then also UPHOLD. And then if you want to send XRP or join Tom's Army, which would be a great way to pay it forward, that's in the video description below and or the pinned comments below. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag FUD Assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, what the hell is the point on this lonely journey to the top?